Okay, so we are in Facebook Live. So first, who will come first? At first, let me share my screen. So our today's lesson is how we can pronunciate sa and sha. Sometimes we can't pronunciate it. Sometimes we use in the same way. When we use sa or when we use sha, we can't understand. For this, here I show limericks or poems, 4 poems. Now recite. Who will recite first? Yes, Tuli. Okay.
Hasan rushed to see a snake. The teacher shouted to Hamish to hush. Poor little fellow shut up with a sad blush. He felt so much shame, swore never to do the same, but he wasn't coming back to class in a rush.
Again, I request other student to follow or to note down where she makes mistake. Okay. After recitation,
Okay, sir.
you will feedback. Okay. Again, Tuli.
Jesus,
Yes. Recite again.
Hasan rushed to see a snake. Poem number 1. The teacher shouted to Hamish to hush. Poor little fellow shut up with a sad blush. He felt so much shame, swore never to the same, but he wasn't coming back to class in a rush.
Any problem? Hello. Any comments for
Yes,
her?
sir.
Bithi.
Yes, sir.
Does she make any mistake?
Yes, sir.
Where?
Line number 4. One number first.
First. Okay. What will be?
সে এটাকে শোর বলছে বাট এটা শোর না এটা সো
Yes, yes. Here the sound is sa, not sha. Swore, but it is the cluster sound. Sa and wa. Swore, swore. Okay, I think in other places he pronunciate correctly. So next poem. Who will recite it? Muna, okay.
Poem number 2. A snake stopped on a sweet store with a hiss. Shocked shoppers dreading a deathly kiss. How shambolic and shocking to see such stealing and snatching. A senseless end to what once was sheer bliss.
Okay. Now, anybody want to comment?
Sir,
Okay.
আমার একটা কমেন্ট আছে
বলো।
স্যার লাস্ট লাইনে থার্ড ওয়ার্ডটা স্যার ও বলছে ইন এটা হবে এন্ড
And not in. এখানে সাউন্ড হচ্ছে a, not e. A senseless and to what once was sheer. এখানে সে sheer বলছে, এটা sheer ইয়া, একটা ডিপথং। আমি অলরেডি তোমাদেরকে লং সাউন্ড, লং ভাওয়াল সাউন্ড, শর্ট ভাওয়াল সাউন্ড এবং ডিপথং। sheer মানে ইয়া একটা ডিপথং আছে এখানে, sheer bliss. Any other comments? Hello. Okay, here he makes sound soap, not soap, but soap. SW is cluster sound. Soaked, not soaped. And shambolic, not hish, but it is hissa, not sha. A snake swooped on a sweet store with a hiss. but Muna pronounce it hish. Okay, now poem number 3.
Toma.
Toma, yes.
Point number 3. Shasha had a sweetheart called Shane. Sadly, she was seldom sober and shy. At times very sly, but never too shy. It was a union that simply could not sustain.
Okay, anybody wants to comment?
Yes,
স্যার
sir.
ও দুই জায়গায় সেম উচ্চারণ করছে সেম সেম তারপর সেম আর তারপর সেম
Okay, first
Yes,
one
sir.
is Shane. Shane, Shane, but Sane, Shane, not Shane. Sa and Sha. Okay, Bithi.
Sir, first line এর first word Sasha, but ও তো বলছে Sasha. আর
First
আরেকটা
Sa
আছে
and
যেটা
Sha.
হচ্ছে union
Sasha, not Shasha. Sasha. Then
লাস্ট লাইনের 3 নাম্বার ওয়ার্ডে যেটা ইউনিয়ন বলছে এটা তো ইউনিয়ন
union, not on, union, not union. Okay, then
ওকে স্যার
okay, thank you. So poem number 4. Who want to recite? Bithi, Poppy, Kanis Patama. Who? Muna? Hello? Who will recite?
স্যার আমি পড়ি।
No, no, you already you have recited.
স্যার তাহলে
One
আমি
point.
আছি দিচ্ছি
Bithi, yes, okay.
Point number 4. An Aussie from Fiji had so many sheep to shear. He would stick with near, slashing with a spear. With a lash he could thresh, smoothly showing any backlash. Sharp as a shark, he could be showy and severe.
Okay, any comments? Hello? Yes or not? If you find any mistake, you can comment.
নো স্যার
Okay,
No,
now
sir.
we have already find our guest Ishtiaq Munshi. So I want to start again. First, I would like to greet our honorable guest who will talk with our guest and give him vote of thanks.
আমি স্যার দেখি
Hello, okay. Bithi, here we see our honorable guest Ishtiaq Hussain Munshi. We are very happy to have you, sir. Now I would like to say something from our students. Bithi, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, say something for our honorable guest.
Assalamu alaikum, Ishtiaq sir. I'm happy to have the opportunity to introduce myself to you. I'm Jannatul Ma'abithi of Pongan High School. I read in class 10. I want to know about you something. And also I welcome you for your valuable time. Thank you, sir. Please, I want to know about you.
Okay.
So thank you, Ishtiaq Hussain Munshi. Now I request you to listen to my students, and I am going to start the recitation
Okay,
part from my students. First,
Okay.
I invited Mridula to recite the poem number 1. Today our session is about sa and sha. Sir, please notice whether they make sound correctly, sa and sha. Okay. Midula, unmute yourself.
Yes, sir, can help.
Okay, start.
Hush and roll to see a snake. Poem number 1. The teacher shouted to Hamish to hush. Poor little fellow shut up with a sad blush. He felt so much shame, swore never to do the same, but he wasn't coming back to class in a rush.
Sir, STX sir, any comment?
No, actually, she did very much good in S and H. Yes, she has some problems regarding the vowels, but her S and SH sound is pretty much good, I think.
Okay, so now I invite Bithi to recite poem number 2. Bithi.
Okay, sir. Poem number 2. A snake swooped on a Swiss store with a hiss. Shocked shoppers dreading a deathly kiss. How symbolic and shocking to see such stealing and snatching. A senseless end to what once was sheer bliss.
Sir. STX sir, any comment?
Yes, with his also there is also I found no problem regarding S and H with her, and she has I think the same problem regarding the vowel sounds. Like Bithi also said snack. It will be like snake. There is a sharp difference between snack and snake. Snack means light food what we eat, and snake is an animal. And you have a problem regarding the tail drop. Tail drop মানে একদম সেন্টেন্সের শেষের সাউন্ডটা হঠাৎ করে নাই হয়ে যায়, যে তুমি হিস শকিং স্ন্যাচিং ব্লিস এভাবে লাস্টের ওয়ার্ড গুলো পুরোপুরি বোঝা যাচ্ছিল না। আদারওয়াইজ your S and H sounds are pretty much good. They are very clear. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, now poem number 3. Or Shahanaz, who will recite? Or Tuli? Okay, I invite Tuli to recite poem number 3.
Sasha had a sweetheart called Sing. Sadly, she was seldom sober and sing. All times very sly, but never to shine. It was a onion that simply could not sustain.
I think Tuli has some network problem, but what you hear, STX sir, say something.
Yeah. Tuli, you have to develop your pronunciation regarding S and H. I think you have some problems with their sound as sa and sh. Okay, the word at the very last of the first line called Shane, not Sane, and you uttered all times. It will be at times. Otherwise, the other words are okay, but you have some problems with other sounds like union and sweetheart. Okay, it is not sweetheart, it's sweetheart, and is work on sa and sha. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Poem number 4. Who will recite?
Sir, Ami, Hasina.
Hasina, okay, start.
Sir, I'm boli.
Okay, Hasina.
The poem number, the sound sa and sha. The poem number 4. An Aussie from Chazzy had so many sheep to shear. He would shriek with snare, slashing with a spear. With a lash he could thrash, smoothly showing any backlash. Sharp as a shark, He could be so showy and severe.
Sir, mistake, sir.
Hasina, I think Hasina, so far I have got the best sound from Hasina, and she's so confident, and her S and H, sorry, S and Sh, Sa and Sha, these two sounds are very prominent. Yes, I think she's the best so far. So, thank you.
Thank you. So now I invite Muna to recite poem number 1. Muna, unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The teacher shouted to Harsh, poor little fellow, shut up with a sad blush. He felt so much shame, swore never to do the same, but he wasn't coming back to class in a rush.
Sir, mistake, sir.
Okay, Muna, you didn't have, you doesn't have any problem regarding S and H. I got found two problems regarding two sounds. One is little. It is not little. It is little, little. Okay, and shame. You pronounce the sh sound correctly, but you sounded sham. It is not sham. If it is sham, it will be sham. But if it is shame, then you have to sound like shame. Okay, but you have no problem regarding sa and sh. Thank you.
So the next poem, I think Toma. Hello, Toma. Unmute yourself. Did you recite?
Yes, sir.
Toma?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Ji,
start.
sir. The poem number 2. A snake shopped on a Swiss store with a hiss. Shocked shopper dreading a deadly kiss. How symbolic and shocking. To see chairs telling and stretching. A senseless into what once was sheer bliss.
Sir? Mistake, sir.
Yeah, Tama. Yeah, Tama. I also found no problem regarding sa and sha, but you have the same problem like Bithi and the first one. I forgot her name. It will be snake, not snack, snake, and you pronounced steading. It is not steading. It is the root word is steal. Steal means uh, চুরি করা আমরা জানি, তো সুতরাং steal থেকে আসছে তাহলে হবে stealing. Okay, otherwise your sa and sha is quite clear. Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks,
now
sir.
Khushbu, unmute yourself
Yes,
and recite poem number 3.
poem number 3. Sasha had a sweet heart called Shane. Sadly, she was seldom sober and sane. At very sly, but never too shy. Union that simply could not sustain.
Sir.
Yes, Khushbu, you did very good in sa and sha, and I hardly found any problem regarding other sounds. But one sound is you have to clear one sound, that is V. I think you will get the sound onward. The VERY, the sound will be like very, not very. Okay, very V sound, and upon sir will of course definitely teach you the difference between V and B. You will get it in future, I think. But your all the sounds are clear except this sound. Thank you.
Okay, now Shahanaz, unmute yourself and recite poem number 4. Shahanaz. Hello, Shahanaz. Poppy or Promi? I think Shahnaz has network problem. Can't unmute herself. Poppy or Promi, who will come? Poppy or Promi, unmute yourself. Kanis Fatima or Farhana? Hello? Anyone reply me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
okay. So Shahanat, hello. Promi, Promi, can you hear me? Promi, Poppy. Kanis Fatima or Farhana? কত মিনিটের এটা লিসেন টাইম 30 minutes. Hello.
Prasanna network problem.
Okay. But other Poppy or Promi or Kanis Fatima or Farhana? Okay, now I want to hear from Ridula the poem number 1 to 4. Okay, Ridula. Ridula, can you hear me? Unmute yourself. Unmute.
2017 সালের এই দিন আজকে কয় তারিখ 25 আজকে 26 ওইটা 25 তারিখের
Hello, sir.
Okay.
আপনার সাথে আমার সরাসরি
Recite whole poem. Poem 1, 2, 3 and 4.
বিশ্ব সাহিত্য কেন্দ্র
Sure, sir.
Okay.
Hush and rush to see a snake. The teacher shouted to Hamish to hush. Poor little fellow shut up with a sad blush. He felt so much shame, swore never to do the same. But he wasn't coming back to class in a rush. Poem number 2. A snake soaked on a switch store with a hiss. Shocked shoppers dreading a deadly kiss. How shambolic and shocking to see such stealing and snatching, a senseless end to what once was sheer bliss. Poem number 3. Sasha had a sweetheart called Shane. Sadly, she was seldom sober and sane. At times very sly, but never too shy. It was a union that simply could not sustain. Poem number 4. An Aussie from Tassie had so many sheep to shear. He would shriek with snare, slashing with a spear. With a lash he could thrash, smoothly showing any backlash. Sharp and sharp, he could be showy and severe.
Okay, thank you. Now, Hasina.
Hush and rush to see a snake. The sound, sa and sha. The poem number 1. The teacher shouted to Hamish to hush. Poor little shut up with a sad blush. He felt so much shame, so never to do the same. But he wasn't coming back to class in a rush. The poem number 2. A snake swooped on a Swiss store with a hiss. Shopkeepers dreading a deadly kiss. How symbolic and shocking to see such stealing and snatching. A senseless end to what once was a sheer bliss. 3. Sasha had a Sasha had a sweetheart called Shane. Sadly, she was seldom sober and sane, at times very sly, but never too shy. It was a union that simply could not sustain. 4. An Aussie from Tassie had so many sheep to shear. He would shriek with snare, slashing with a spear. With a lash he could thresh, smoothly showing any backlash. Sharp as a shark, he could be showy and severe.
Okay, Vithi.
Okay, sir. Hush and rush to see a snake. Point number 1. The teacher shouted to Hamish to hush. Poor little fellow shut up with a sad blush. He felt so much shame, so never to do the same. But he wasn't coming back to class in a rush. Point number 2. A snake shopped on a Swiss store with a hiss. Shocked shoppers dreading a deathly kiss. How symbolic and shocking to see such stealing and snatching. A senseless end to what once was sheer bliss. Point number 3. Sasha had a sweetheart called Shane. Sadly, she was seldom sober and sane, at times very sly, but never too shy. It was a union that simply could not sustain. Point number 4. An Aussie from Thesi had so many sheep to shear. He would shriek with snare, slashing with a spear. With a lash he could thrash, smoothly showing any backlash. Sharp as a shark, he could be showy and severe.
Tuli.
Hush and rush to see a snake. The teacher shouted to Hamish to hush. Poor little fellow shut up with a sad blush. He felt so much shame, sure never to do the same. He wasn't coming back to class in a rush. Point number 2. A snake shopped on a Swiss store with a hiss. Shocked shopper dreading a deadly kiss. How symbolic and shocking to see such stealing and snatching, a senseless end to what once was sheer bliss. Point number 3. Sasha had a sweetheart called Shane. Sadly, he was seldom sober and sane. All times very sly, but to shine. It was a union that simply could not sustain. Point number 4. An Aussie from Thesi had so many sheep to shear, he could strike with snare, slashing with a spear. With a lash he could thrash, smoothly showing any backlash. Sharp as a shark, he could be showing and severe.
Okay, thank you. We have only 8 minutes left. So, I want to hear from our honorable guest, Istiakushan Munshi, then from my students. Sir, unmute yourself, sir.
Yes. Thank you, Apan Bhai, for giving me the chance to be with you and to be with your wonderful students. And I must say that they are very much fortunate that they have got a teacher like you in this suburb, and I think Pomgao is uh, a little bit farther, far from the uh, Kumila town, and I am from Devidar, very much close to you. And yeah, I know the rural people, uh, actually, especially the rural students, uh, hardly get teacher like you, so much dedicated, and I think you are so much enthusiastic in this regard. And what should I say? Uh, Thank you very much for disseminating knowledge among the students. And I must thank you, all of you, all the students, who are so much encouraging, and you are so enthusiastic to learn something new, because these are not necessary actually. Because in our education system, pronunciation is actually is not considered, because they will not come to your exam, they will not vary any result in your class or in your certificate, but you have come from your interest, and that's why I want to thank you from the core of our heart, core of my heart, because yes, we and I and Apan Bhai, along with some other teachers, are learning now. We are more than 30 now, and we are learning this pronunciation now, and you are learning this pronunciation while you are in class 9 and 10. So I think you are much ahead of us, and for this I must thank you again, Hossein Bhai, for your actually your hardship, but I must say you are enjoying these little kids so much. And again, I want to thank you for getting me the opportunity to be with you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. I want to hear from my students and give vote of thanks to our honorable guest. Who will say something?
Sir,
Okay.
Mridula. Assalamualaikum, sir. Let me introduce to you about myself. I'm Afsanami Mridul and I read in class 7 in Pomgao High School. Thanks for watching our English class and pronunciations class. Thanks for inspirations and supported us. Um, I'm so happy because here you present and listen to our English pronunciations. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mridula. Any other? Anyone want to say something?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Vithi. Okay, say something.
Thanks, instruction, sir. Already I have give my introduce, so it's no need. I thanks you a lot because your valuable time lost with us, and I want to find you again and again. Welcome to you for again join us. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you, Vithi. Anyone want to say something? We have 3 minutes left. I want to hear from my students. Hello. If yes, I can continue. If not, I am to end at the end of my class.
We are going to play football this day. আচ্ছা একটু পরে আবার
Okay, thank you, my dear, my lovely student. I can continue my class as you are present here. If I don't find you, I can continue my lesson, continue my class. So a lot of thanks for my students, for you, because you have a lot of problem, network problem, device problem, and as you live in rural area, it's impossible to attend to join in Zoom live class or in any networking class, but you present here, though you have a lot of obstacle. And I also thanks our honorable guest Istiak Hossein Munshi sir. You are always so much busy with taking online class or a lot of work you have to do in your school. but you present here to encourage or inspire our students. I hope you will come again and you will listen our students
Inshallah.
and encourage them. Thanks a lot, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Apan Bhai.
Okay, thank you. So that's for today. But I want to give you homework for the next class. You can take a screenshot. In our next class, we will try the sound ja. We have 1:44. 1 minute and 44 seconds. You can take a screenshot. And I want to hear from Istiak sir about ja sound.
Okay, one of the toughest sound, I must say, this ja sound, because in our Bangla alphabet or Bangla dhoni, this sound is not present. So I think it is one of the toughest because Apan Bhai knows that while we were in this class, in this session, many of us uh, couldn't utter this sound very clearly at the very first time, and one of us took more than 1 or 2 weeks even. So I think if you can overcome this sound, it will be a great milestone. The sound is like ja, ja, pleasure, measure, treasure, ja sound. Okay, I think you will listen to the instructors again and again.
I want to add something. The ja sound is not in
like
also in English. It's the sound of Prince sound, not in English. The sound comes from Prince. Okay, thanks a lot again, because we are going to end our session. So thanks. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye. All of you.
Okay.